Good morning, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. We're making a cattle move this morning. We're shooting them through a portion of this farm that hasn't been grazed. This is where we actually leave the farm at on our rotation. So we're going to shoot them through this paddock and go to the far end and then start grazing our way back. There's about 370 head in here, counting all the calves and everything. They're going into a bottom this morning. It's just beautiful. Woo! Yeah! They're used to me being in the lead. But I had the four-wheeler at the very back of the paddock. And I want to get out of the way. There's some babies coming. I don't want to deter them. Folks, it's dry out here. My goodness. I don't think we've had a rain since I left for England. That was June 12th. And this is July 9th. It's ram sorting day. We're gonna be sorting some rams off. Get all the rams out of the ewes. But this keeping the ground covered, folks, there's still some pretty darn good forage out here. This is one of the ponds that we built. This is going on its second year. We've already put the bluegill and channel cat in there. And it's got a pipe in the back of it. We're gonna be hooking on a tank. Oh, turkey feather. We were here putting this fence up the other day. This is our lane. We jumped a hen. She was right here. And she flew across that pond, landed over there, and was deep clucking. And a little closer inspection, you can see a bunch of little baby turkeys here. She had a pretty good clutch. And she's trying to draw us away from them. She just kept flying back to one side or the other. Real deep clucks. And, you know, it's just nature. That's what they do. Anyway, I'm going to go up here to the four-wheeler. And I'm going to go pick up our Isaac and Ike. David is on vacation right now. Well, you can tell they camped right here this morning. They beat this up pretty good. A lot of manure. But it'll grow some grass now. Definitely got the fertility. Okay. Now. We're going to get an early start this morning. It's going to get hot. And we got to get over and get those sheep up. We got a bunch of sheep to sort. Get all the little rams out so that we're not winter lambing. Winter lambing is a wreck. You don't want to be doing that in Missouri. Unless you want to lose about 60 to 80% of your lamb crop freezing to death. But we lamb on pasture. We don't have barns. And you want to do that by putting your rams in December, 1st of December. That gives you May 1st lambing. It's amazing how much grass the cow mob. Look at that. They trample that just moving through here. Put a large herd together like that. That's a big, powerful unit of trampling. I believe they've all went across the creek already. Yep, gone. Well, it didn't take long. I thought as tall as the grass was, they might one or two run through. I mean, look at that out there. Look at that grass. No rain for, well, let's see, today's the 9th. 5 more days. It'll be a month. We did get a 1/4 inch. I said no rain. We got a 1/4 inch the day after the 4th of July. And then we got a trace, like 1/10 yesterday. 2/10. No, it was 1/10. Yeah. So, it's dry. But, you know, it's July. And we can normally expect to get dry in July. The creek is bone dry. There's no water in that creek at all. Yeah, I can hear a little bit down there. But we got a pond up on the hill. That's why we build ponds for dry summers. Got one calf that went down the creek of all things. Isaac's down there herding him up the creek. I don't know why he didn't come this way. It's just being a baby calf, I guess. So this will be the paddock that we graze when we leave. This farm. It's the last one. My goodness. There's Lespedeza. There's clover. Heck, there's some Indian grass of all things. I'll be darned, look at it. It's coming up everywhere. There's a clump, there's a clump, there's a clump. That had to come from, so we bought some hay, Indian grass hay. Gosh, that's been 5-6 years ago. And we unrolled it on this paddock. It was terrible hay. It was way too mature. A lot of seed in it. The cattle wouldn't hardly touch it. But I bought it for the seed. It looks like it's starting to come up now. It's amazing it's set in the ground that long. But we're seeing a lot of Indian grass this year. Just pop up where we've never seen Indian grass before. And I tell you what, I am so glad that we're grazing tall. Otherwise, we'd be out of grass now. I saw a guy on YouTube the other day, had a bale unroller on and feeding hay. He's out of grass. But when you got to start feeding hay in July, folks, that's a very, very, very long winter. You should be selling animals, not feeding hay. But anyway, people got to learn. So this stuff here, this white stuff is called aster. Really high bricks. Look at it. Cattle are just going to devour that. It's like feeding them candy bars. Yeah, boy, there's a field of it. Aster will come up sometimes if you get a little pugging. Of course, we had the cattle in here in the wintertime. There could have been just enough exposure with the cows that we got some aster, but I'm not going to fret it because it's good feed. Well, that's the other thing we got to put in. I forgot about that last night. I was looking at this ribbon here on the post. It's like, that needs to be put in. There it is. Yeah. So this is our tape. It'll go across this creek right here. As soon as I end this video, I'm going to put that in. So I'll tie on cold right there. Then I bring it through all those posts down across that creek. You can see there's the post, the fiberglass. So this creek, when it rains hard, there'll be water clear up here where I'm standing. So you don't want to put a wire down in that draw. It'll just wash away. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Golly, I'm in a tropical forest here, it looks like. But we're glad we got it. Now that it hasn't rained, all this, you might say mature forage is going to pay huge dividends because we're not going to have to feed hay. I'd rather feed them mature forage that was grown this spring than have to unroll a bale of hay that I got to buy. And anytime you feed hay, folks, you're not working. The animals aren't working for you anymore. You're working for the animals. In other words, you got to feed them. And boy, let me tell you what, that gets old really quick. You got to be able to have forage out here. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money in the cattle business. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Everyone have a good one. And hit that subscribe button all the way out. And giving you a plug for the grazing school. It's going to be coming up here in September. And it's over half full now. So if you're thinking about it, go to greenpasturesfarm.net. Check it out. And you can sign up there. Have a good one. Take care.